Theresa May has declared she is prepared to rip up human rights laws to impose new restrictions on terror suspects, as she sought to gain control over the security agenda just 36 hours before the polls open. The Prime Minister said she was looking at how to make it easier to deport foreign terror suspects and how to increase controls on extremists where it is thought they present a threat but there is not enough evidence to prosecute them. The last-ditch intervention comes after days of pressure on May over the policing cuts and questions over intelligence failures, following terror attacks on London Bridge, Manchester, and Westminster. MI5 to review handling of London Bridge attack, says Theresa May. Read more. She said, "But I can tell you a few of the things I mean by that. I mean longer prison sentences for people convicted of terrorist offences. I mean making it easier for the authorities to deport foreign terror suspects to their own countries. And I mean doing more to restrict the freedom and the movements of terrorist suspects when we have enough evidence to know they present a threat, but not enough evidence to prosecute them in full in court. And if human rights laws stop us from doing it, we will change those laws so we can do it." The proposed measures appear to be an attempt at strengthening terrorism prevention and investigation measures, TPIMs, rather than a complete return to Labour's control orders, which were repeatedly struck down by the courts and then scrapped by May in 2010 when she was Home Secretary. They could involve further curfews, restrictions on association with other known extremists, controls on where they can travel and limits on access to communication devices. She could even increase the period for which terror suspects can be held without trial, currently 14 days, a move that provoked clashes with civil liberties campaigners when Tony Blair attempted it after the 7th of July 2005 attacks. May told The Sun she would consult the intelligence agencies about what they think is needed. "When we reduced it to 14 days, we actually allowed for legislation to enable it to be 28 days. We said there may be circumstances where it is necessary to do this. I will listen to what they think is necessary for us to do." Who should I vote for? The UK election manifestos compared. Read more. The Conservatives have promised not to withdraw from the European Convention on Human Rights during the next Parliament, but they could begin to try to replace or amend parts of the Human Rights Act after the UK leaves the EU. It is possible May's plans could involve seeking further derogations from the ECHR. This is the way the government is seeking to prevent human rights claims against soldiers in future military situations. Earlier in the day, the Prime Minister tried to return her election campaign to the issues of Brexit and her leadership, as the Tories' poll lead over Jeremy Corbyn's Labour remained narrow.